Hello and welcome to Home. As it says here on the title screen, it's a unique horror adventure game by Benjamin Rivers. I always seem to do that in my intros nowadays, where I start the intro and then I go blah 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 blah. It's very professional. So Home is kind of not really a horror game in the nowadays sense of the word. There's not really much gore, there's no real jump scares, and it's not really about monsters or anything like that. It's just sort of atmospheric horror, which I very much enjoy. And I've already played this game once, so this is kind of a replay, and it was a very long time ago, so I don't really remember much of the game though. And I just wanted to get this out there and get people to know about this game, because they should try it. And the interesting thing about Home is it's different when you play it, depending on what choices you make and what you look at, what you choose, what you take, and things like that. So if you watch this and you're interested in the game, you can play it, and you can do things differently, and your story might end up unlike mine. So, I don't think this is gonna take too long, maybe 1 or 2 episodes, 3 tops. My first playthrough took about an hour. Let's just press play, and your game will be saved automatically at certain points. However, we recommend that you put aside an hour and a half and complete Home in a single sitting. Yeah, an hour and a half is kind of a stretch. It took me about an hour to do my first run, and we'll see how I do this time. And let's press it space again. I'm just trying to sync up the sound, I'm sorry. Wear headphones. I am. Turn off the lights. They are. Kind of. As much as they can be right now. And space. You can move, you can space, you can choose whether to go window or full screen. I'm playing full screen right now, because you should. And ask us to quit the game. So, space. All I remembered at that point was finding myself alone. Oh, my head. Where was I? It was so dark. So, there was something by my feet. A flashlight. So, I'm gonna try to read with kind of a bit of emotion, I guess, and getting a bit into it. Hopefully, if you haven't played this game, it can sort of be more as a story, and maybe you could even use this without even watching the video, and just listen to it. Then you could play the game yourself. That house. Where was I? There was a body, lying on the floor. Who was it? I didn't recognize his face. He was still kind of warm. So that's nice, a body lying on the ground. Hi, kitty. Bye, kitty. So I can go downstairs, or I think I'm gonna continue on this direction. Leak in the ceiling here. And a computer. The desk had a computer and some papers on it, and a single drawer. I didn't want to snoop, but did I open the drawer? And here's where the game, how the game functions. You get these, he's trying to remember what happened, and you get to choose whether he opened the drawer or didn't. So, I kind of wanted to do a run where I did everything opposite of what I did before, but I think I would rather just play it the way that I feel. I don't remember if I probably opened the drawer because I know myself, but yeah, some choices where I could go for either or. I think I'll try to do the one that is less likely that I chose back when I played it, so I get a different story. But yes, I opened the drawer. Receipts, pens, and a blurry photo. Looked like a store of some kind. Why did this look so familiar? I really shouldn't have been going through this stuff, getting my fingerprints everywhere. Oh yeah, there's a murder. And some blood. Blood on the wall. It smelled fresh and sickening. I realized there was blood on my shoes and pants. Oh man, I had to get out of there. If that man died in the hallway, what was the blood doing there? Alright, let's go downstairs. Also, just a sec. A thing was blocking my clock, so I didn't see the time, just so I know. I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg, I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home, seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. I shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs, try to find a way out. Let's go right. The shelf was full of books on local history and hunting. Seemed like the owner of the house really knew the area. There were scribbles of all kinds on random scraps of paper, and notes about some kind of water tower. Did he mean the one by the old train yard? Normally you can interact with things twice, and past that point, creaking in the floor or ceiling. Very eerie. Normally, he doesn't say anything new past that point. An old dining table covered in dirty dishes for 2 people. There were dozens of beer cans and other liquor bottles among the dishes. The smell was turning my stomach. How long had this been here, rotting? The man upstairs didn't look like he'd been dead a long time. A black and white photo. Looked like the man upstairs, and his wife, I guessed. There was no reason for me to keep this. Did I take it? This time I'm gonna choose no. I figured this was no help to me, so I left it behind. Because I'm pretty sure I took that on my first playthrough. So at least some difference. Oh, this is the 2nd floor, so there's 3 floors. A thin grey mouse was stuck in a trap. It looked frantic, but exhausted. Did I free it? Now in this scenario, I would have freed it, and I kind of still want to do that, because... Oh, the poor mouse. Or, yeah, mouse. Yes. I'll free it. Be free, little mouse. Run away. I don't think I've been recording my mouse pointer on the screen. If I did, then I apologize, but yeah, I think I toggled that option, so it shouldn't have. A collection of rusty tools. These looked like they'd seen a lot of use, and were caked in damp-smelling dirt. Why weren't they in a shed? This was an odd place to keep yard tools. What would they have been used for in here? I found a picture of a couple. It looked like it had been moved a lot. There seemed to be a switch behind it. Did I push the switch? Again, I chose yes, of course, and I think I'm gonna do that this time too, because it's kind of... who wouldn't press the switch? It depressed smoothly into the wall. I heard a faraway click somewhere. Alright, I don't know if that was... let's go upstairs. I don't know if that click unlocked something, so I'm just gonna check back where we've already been. Sometimes you have to actually look up to notice something and to interact with it, so that's why I do that sometimes. There's nothing... no. Right, let's head to the right here again. No, it's just the same. Alright, so I guess something must have clicked on the first floor, or maybe in the basement if there is one. Let's go right. Door slamming shut. The door was taped up and seemed to be stuck. By the smell, I guessed it led to the kitchen. I gave the door a hard shove, and to my surprise, it cracked open. There were sheets of paper all over the kitchen table. It looked like a series of names were written down, but they were too smudged to read. I could only make out a few of the notes. Keycard, Ocker, last one, I promise. It didn't make much sense at the time. The smell of old dishes and moldy food was dizzying. I wonder what would have happened if I didn't free the mouse. Would he have been here or not? The box looked heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It had obviously been moved before. Maybe I had found a way out. I must have moved it, right? Let's say no for now. I left it alone, but I couldn't think of another option. I just want to check out the remaining areas of the house before I do that. I looked like hell. My clothes were dirty and torn, and there was mud caked all over my shoes. The bathroom was incredibly clean. Every surface had been thoroughly wiped, and nothing seemed out of place. There was a photo development tray lying on the floor. Some leftover negatives were sticking out, but they were pretty blurry. I thought I saw what looked like treetops. It seemed odd that the tray had been left there, considering how clean the rest of the bathroom was. The front door was blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out. I wonder what that clicking was, because apparently it wasn't anything here. That's quite curious. Actually, I don't know. I'm not trying to just be atmospheric. Okay, I moved the box. I heaved the box forward and it finally gave. There was a ladder going underground, where the box was. A dank smell rose from the passage. Did I climb down the ladder? Yes. My leg hurt like hell as I climbed down that ladder. The tunnel below was even darker, and the smell wasn't getting any better. But I had to get out of there and find my way home. Those boxes would have allowed me to climb up the ladder again, but I didn't want to go back up there, not with that body, all that blood. I knew I needed to take a look around. Footprints in the dirt. Looked like more than one kind, and a lot of traffic. Places all over were marked on the old map of town. The industrial area near the river, various houses, and even the water tower near the old rail station. The guy upstairs must have done this, but what was his interest in the water tower? Some of the markings matched the scribbles I saw on the bookshelves upstairs. Bookshelf. Newspaper clippings from the local paper. They were all about murders in town over the last few years. Wait. There were photos. Photos of our house. What the hell was that about? Maybe I should have looked around more, tried to find some kind of information. Oh, Rachel, please be okay. I wanted to rush home, but I had to find a way out first, and I needed to see what else was down there. Can I walk up here again? 99. What? What? I don't get that. Why did he say 99? Whatever this place was, it was obviously used a lot. Oh, what? Why did... Oh, a work table covered in papers, dirt, and a handgun. I hated guns. I didn't take it, did I? So in this situation, I think I took the gun. I'm gonna say no this time. I didn't even want to touch the thing. Better I left it right where it was. It was so dark down there, and the air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? Let's climb up again. Was there anything to the right? No. The desk looked old and was caked with grime. On it was a stack of old, faded paper covered with what looked like names. They were scratched out, and illegible notes were written beside them in faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. He, I, A, He, L, R, F, O, Ro. Hope you got that. None of it made any sense to me. Nothing about Rachel or me was written there. Maybe I needed to keep looking. Some kind of homemade rack, slung together with poorly cut wooden rope. It was caked with old blood. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? The smell in that room was like old grease and rot. I wasn't getting any closer to finding anything useful. Rusted hooks. Looked like the kind you'd find in a butcher, hung from the ceiling. Oh, yeah. They looked pitted and worn from heavy use. That man upstairs, did he do this? The smell yeah, sure. I was getting more nauseated the longer I stayed there. I felt sick and weak, like I hadn't eaten for days. Yeah, keep complaining about the smell. Crudely made shelves. They looked like they were holding cans of some kind of corrosive. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. The slight fumes that still emanated from the cans made me dizzy. So it looked like a cage? It was small, but there was something coating the bottom. Something wet. That place was getting worse all the time. I knew I had to keep moving. So we can go down a ladder or through the door. I think I'm gonna go through the door, but I think this should be the end of the episode for now. So I hope you enjoyed the beginning of this game, and if you did, then stick around. I'll keep recording, because as they said, this is best recorded in one batch, and we'll see if we can find out what's going on here and make our way home. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.